making. And note making, I think sometimes what we do is ki acha toppers ke notes are available in the market, let's get that and we'll be sorted. But I think the process of note making itself is very important. It's not just about the final product, but making that effort yourself, and since you're familiar with it, it'll be easier for you to revise that as well. Even if you're relying on some other external process for notes, make them your own. So I also use notes, I also use material of other toppers, of other markets available, but reread it so many times that you make it your own and keep making additions to it. Secondly, which is the most important, once you've decided that you're going to take this examination, is the strategy. And there are 3 levels, prelims, mains and interview. So there's, first and foremost, it's important to understand that there's no clear-cut division in terms of ki acha abhi prelims ki padhai, fir mains ki padhai, fir interview ki padhai. It's an integrated sort of preparation, but there is a difference in strategy at each level. So for prelims and mains, the books that you'll be relying for will be the same. So I'll just, I think, depending on the subject, I'll just tell you the books which I use. They were basic books, nothing out of the blue that I, pulled out of from some different shop that you guys don't have access to. It was the basic book. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So I've been asked to talk to you with respect to what motivated me to take up civil services as my career. And I think this is very important because, as all of you know, this is not an easy journey. It's not something that you prepare for in 1 week or a few months. It requires a certain amount of commitment. At least, I think, 2 years at the minimum, because I think at least 1 year before you start giving the examination or appear for your prelims, and at least 1 year during which the examination itself takes place. I think we've already gone through the material or the basic books, but what is more important is stick to one. Don't go don't think अच्छा there's some new material in the market तो इसमें शायद कुछ और होगा जो पहले वाले में नहीं था. तो ऐसा नहीं है. I think first of all identify which one you're sticking to and then stick to it. You can keep on adding stuff. I'm not saying that don't keep on adding stuff. Sometimes you find certain new things in certain papers, but you don't need to go through all of it or the entire magazine. Just pick up what you think is important based on the syllabus, not because it's new in the market and someone else is using it. Newspaper reading you've already done. It's important to develop an opinion on it and back it up. So apart from your DAF is very important. I think those are later aspects of the preparation, which I think all of you are just starting out. 2023, I think most of you are appearing in. So that is something I think you will develop later. But as a very preliminary thing, the change in terms of current affairs for the interview preparation is you have to have some sort of opinion and balance it. It doesn't need to be a far-sighted opinion. Economics, history. I personally had a history optional background, so I didn't go through many other books, but Spectrum is one thing all of you can go through for modern history. For ancient and medieval, there are 2 ways of going about it. So one is the chronology-based idea, so the old NCRTs, which is R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra, are usually used for getting a basic hang of what a chronology was. It's important to stick to one source and add from other sources. So whatever source you're taking, say for example, I think I'll tell you about myself. So my main source were the notes that I had made, and I used to keep adding. For example, for ethics, I had Vajiram notes, which were my source. I used to keep adding in terms of examples and quotes from other sources in terms of the newspaper. For internal security, my main source was the yellow book. I used to keep on adding examples from other sources. For the basic books, apart from that, for current affairs, you can use whatever coaching material. I used to use the compilations. I personally didn't go through monthly books because I didn't have that much time. But I have seen lots of people use the monthly books and leave the compilations. So they used to regularly read the monthlies, make tiny notes or underline, and then use the monthlies only. So that depends on you. I don't think it makes any difference. Months before the prelims, what you start doing is you start attempting more test series. I think you'll already enroll yourself in some sort of MCQ answering programs, or maybe solve 3 to 4 MCQs some days. Some people work like that. I used to start attempting more test series before the prelims. So 3 months before the prelims, I used to get those test series, the prelims test series, and start attempting them, and then analyze. Is very important, more important than content, because content is available in the market, so you don't have to fall for any guidance. But I think Ravindran sir here, Farooqi sir and Tariq sir especially helped me a lot during the interview in terms of history preparation, how to sort of attempt the paper, how to go about the paper itself. So I think guidance in terms of any mentor that you may have is very important. attending classes regularly and guidance to cover the syllabus. So I think, yeah, if you're attending a coaching, which I think all of you are, try to stick to it, try to attend classes, and most importantly, integrate them with whatever you're studying and prepare a time plan. So although the coaching may have developed some sort of time plan for you guys, I think it's also important to have your own thing going. You can't completely rely on any external factor, but integrate both of them together. So have a personal study plan as well as attend the classes, and integrate both of them together as well as you can. I think sometimes what we do is ki acha toppers ke notes are available in the market, let's get that and we'll be sorted. But I think the process of note making itself is very important. It's not just about the final product, but making that effort yourself, and since you're familiar with it, it'll be easier for you to revise that as well. Even if you're relying on some other external process for notes, make them your own. So I also use notes, I also use material of other toppers, of other markets available, but reread it so many times that you make it your own and keep making additions to it. So at any level, any sort of material would be stagnant, so you have to keep on adding to it. Environment does become necessary, which I think to me was provided by my teachers, by my parents, by my friends, because there are definite lows. I'm not saying there are not lows. You feel like you're not doing enough. You feel that you can't do it. You feel you may have done anything else, and this amount of effort, if you would have put in anything else, you would already have got success. So that sort of decisions you have to make on your own. But I think once you've made that decision that you want to crack this examination, certain level of discipline is required.